This isn't gonna be a fun time to edit. Hey guys, it's Jillian. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time seeing my lovely face, because I have like a million new subscribers now. Hi guys, I'm assuming you're like mostly figure skating fans because I posted that one music swap from Yuzu that blew up. So hi, hello. As the title suggests, lately I'm gonna be looking at notes. I'm sorry, because I'm gonna try to be as concise as possible because I already have over an hour and a half's worth of footage I need to edit down. Okay. With the Olympics and figure skating and everything that was going on, particularly in the men's event, this word, the terms overscoring, underscoring have been thrown around a lot, and it seems like there are a lot of new fans. So we're gonna, and even for old fans, we're gonna test out if that's really true. You know, a lot of people say it, but is it really true? So one figure skater that a lot of people say is overscored is the US skater Nathan Chen, who just recently won gold at the Beijing Olympics. We are very happy for him. Disclaimer, this video is not meant to be hateful towards anybody, not Nathan, not other skaters, not the judges, not the International Skating Union. We are just here to give opinions and evaluate whether or not I, in my personal subjective opinion, think that Nathan Chen is overscored. Another thing that I didn't mention that I probably should have mentioned, I'm not a figure skating judge. I don't even like figure skate in any sort of competitive regard, so I'm just basing this off of my own knowledge and understanding of the ISU judging guidelines. So take everything I say with a grain of salt, because it might not be 100% accurate. If you do notice that I like wildly misinterpreted what like one of the points for grade is supposed to mean or something like that, feel free to let me know in a polite way down in the comments. We love educating people over on this channel. We do not love calling people out for not knowing as much as someone else does. Thanks. When it comes to figure skating scoring, things can be a little confusing. You have elements in the short and free program that are assigned base values. Then from there, a panel of 9 judges gives plus or minus 1 to 5 on those elements. The highest and lowest score is dropped, and then the remaining 7 judges' scores are averaged together. That number is then converted into a percentage. That percentage is taken of the base value of the element and added as the grade of execution, or GOE. If you're having trouble following along, vibes. That makes up the technical element score for the skater, or the TES as it's abbreviated. Then you have second part of the score, which is the program component score, or PCS. In 0.25 increments, the judges score on a scale of 0 to 10 5 different elements of artistry or execution of the performance, skating skills, transitions, performance, composition, and interpretation. Like with grade of execution, highest and lowest are dropped, the remaining 7 are averaged together. In the men's free skate, it is multiplied by a factor of 2. The 5 parts are added up for a score out of 100 being the best for men's free. And then you add together the PCS and the TES to get the overall score, the total segment score, the overall score for that specific program. So, I'm going to be doing that today. With Nathan Chen's Mozart medley, I often call this song Lacrimosa because it features Mozart's Lacrimosa, which is one of my favorite classical pieces of all time. I picked this one. I personally consider myself neutral in the matter of Nathan Chen. I think that he is a great technician. I don't think his artistry is that great. He's a good skater. He's not like my favorite skater to watch. There are other skaters that I just find personally more enjoyable. So that's why I felt like this would be good. Like, I could take Tento Chito and say this is why Yuzuru Hanyu is underscored, but as a massive fan of Yuzuru Hanyu, I acknowledge that I have a certain level of bias. I mean, I'm trying to go into this without any bias, but my view doesn't hold a lot of weight. So I wanted to kind of do this to be like, I'm not like massive like fan of Nathan Chen, but I also don't dislike him. So that's why I feel like I'm kind of a more neutral party. And I chose the Lacrimosa program because it is one of my favorite programs of Nathan's that I've seen. It's also choreographed by Shaylin Bourne, who is one of my favorite figure skating choreographers. So again, another thing that kind of helps with like the bias that may be present. I haven't watched this program since I saw it live at Skate Canada last October. The reason I'm choosing this one, he only performed this twice. He bombed it at Skate America. I will not be including a clip of me watching it, just because I feel like that might be boring because I'm not like commentating on it, and B, I don't want a copyright call on this video. I will link in the description both the NBC's official video of his program as well as the fan cam that I watched in scoring, because you know, the angle at which you watch it can also have an effect on biases, and that's why I'm not making this to kind of shade the judges. Sometimes when we see things from a different angle that the judges don't have the chance to look at, then we notice things that they don't. And so that's kind of like a big thing that needs to be talked about with this whole over underscoring conversation, is that sometimes I'm not going to act like there are no biases in the judging panel, but sometimes it is just a matter of misinterpretation. Or I previously took down Nathan's elements without looking at the scores from his official score sheet, which I will also be linking in the description, because normally when a judge is scoring an element live, it's after the element has been validated by a technical panel. So in lieu of having a technical panel, I'm just going to be taking the calls that the technical panel had made at this performance and judging them from there. So yes, please keep any hate or salt or tea or whatever towards any skaters out of the comments. I'm not creating this to stir drama. I'm just creating this to evaluate whether or not this term that people are throwing around about Nathan Chen is true, in my opinion. And yeah, so I hope you enjoy the video. I hope you stick around and leave a comment below if you like this type of video, because maybe I'll make more of them. I have like a half hour of me talking about his PCS, and I just figured I could be so much more concise if I went over it again here. So I'm going to rattle off some numbers, talk about where those numbers came from, and I will be saying them again when I go over his total composite score. So let's try this. For skating skills, I gave him a 9.5. Hello, voice. I think he's fine. Like, he's fine. I don't think that it warrants a 10. Like, I think that there are skaters who just kind of like capture everything just a little bit more. I think that as an artist myself, I see figure skating as an art, and especially the PCS as like artistry, and I just feel like Nate is very technically proficient, but he doesn't push the extra mile the way some other skaters do, and I think that that's necessary to get a 10. For transitions, I was a little meaner. I gave him a 7.5. Am I being a little mean? Yes. But the real reason for the 7.5 is because of the continuity and flow of elements. I just feel like his jumps just feel like jumps. They don't feel connected to like the choreography on the whole. And it's not even about like telegraphing or anything, like being able to see the jumps coming, because I don't think that you need to have like your jumps coming out of nowhere to get a 10. The flow could be there, and I mentioned this earlier. Shaylin Bourne, who choreographed this program for Nathan, is one of my favorite choreographers. She has choreographed some of my favorite pieces. So it's not the choreographer's fault. It's definitely at least partially Nathan's own take on the choreography. And so that's why I knocked him down a little bit. For his performance, I was kind of mean. I gave him a 7. This is where things start to get really subjective. In terms of the pretentiousness that is physical, emotional, and intellectual involvement in the program, as the ISU guidelines explicitly state, I just like, in general, I feel like he's just not, there's a level of disconnection. Maybe it's just because I'm an actor, but I think that he is skating to music rather than skating with the music, which is what I think he should be doing, in my opinion. In terms of variety and contrast of movement and energy, it's all very one note, and like the music's not, except when he gets to his choreographic sequence, which that is its own element. PCS is the entire program on the whole. It just feels very basic. A lot of it is just him moving his arms around and like lifting them up, and like it looks pretty, but it's not a lot of variety, and it gets boring. So yeah, I gave him a 7. I'm sorry, not sorry. For composition, I gave him a 6.5. This was maybe a little mean, because like his pattern, ice coverage, multidimensional use of space, design of movements, like that is all fine. And like, I would be okay with like a judge giving him up to like an 8, maybe even an 8.5 for this. But I just feel like part of composition is purpose, and it doesn't feel like it has a purpose. Like I was saying, the program feels disconnected from the music, and I think that if another skater were to skate this program, someone like Jason Brown, who is known for his expression and such on the ice, I feel like he could connect the program to the music. So I think it is something that Nathan is lacking, and that's why I am scoring him so low for it. And then for interpretation, I gave him an 8, which I don't think that that's like particularly low. In terms of expression of character, finesse, and musicality, nothing will compare to the beauty that is Purple Origin, and like the heartbeat at the opening. Like, I love it so much. The real reason that I'm scoring him down to an 8 is because of timing, and this isn't necessarily his fault. I just feel like some of his jumps, particularly his triple axel, and I think that one's coming to mind because I like watched it a few times, because the grade of execution I gave it was wildly different from the one that the judges gave him. It's like, doesn't fit with the music. It's not where you want it to be, and it might just be because I'm a musician, but it feels like he was off timing there, but like I don't think he was. And so that's why I'm like, it's not entirely his fault, because that might have just been a choreography thing, because he does still like land on a beat in the music. It's just, like I said, it's not where I feel like I want it to be. So that's why I'm kind of like an 8. Like, it's okay. And like I said, the finesse I feel like isn't as much there, like capturing all the nuance of the pieces, because I keep forgetting it's a medley. It's not just Lacrimosa. I call it Lacrimosa, but it's a medley. It's just mostly Lacrimosa. I gave him a 9.5 for skating skills. He got a 9.43. I gave him a 7.5 for transitions. He got an 8.96. I gave him a 7 for performance. He got a 9.43. I gave him a 6.5 in composition. He got a 9.32. And I gave him an 8 in interpretation. He got a 9.25. His lowest score was an 8.75. He got 2 8.75s in transitions. Or 3 and 8.75s in transitions. And that's what I talk about, probably because he doesn't use super difficult transitions, and doesn't have like a lot. He doesn't have very much variety. Let's add them up and see what we got. Okay, we're just gonna stick with the 3 thing for the combo, because I can't figure out what was going on with that combo. I'm going to quickly review that axle just to see what the heck I was watching, because my score was so different from the judges, and then we will decide. Most judges for his triple axel gave him a 3, but some did give him a 4. In order to get a 4, he has to have good height and distance, good takeoff and landing, and effortlessness to the jump. I would not say that that was an effortless jump. He looked off balance, and actually body position is one of the GOEs, and I wouldn't say he has good body position. Like, I know that not everybody is Yuzu at 4cc doing a triple axel, but like, in comparison to his other jumps, it looked very shaky. But he doesn't, his center of gravity seems off on the jump, so I'm not going to give him that. In terms of element matching the music, he lands on the note change, but like, it doesn't feel like you want the jump to be when the music swells. He got, like, it's not a particularly unexpected entry, but it's like, he gets that. Effortlessness, I would not give him. In terms of takeoff and landing, because he had decent height but not the best distance, I'm gonna give him between like height and distance and like takeoff and landing, I'm gonna give him 1 point. Poor speed, height, position, -1 to -3. So I'm gonna say that -1, let's give him a -1 for poor position, balances out like the height, distance, and takeoff landing issue. I can understand why he got a positive GOE for it. But I definitely wouldn't. What'd he get for that jump? Yeah, I wouldn't have given him, his average was a 3. He got 3 4s. I wouldn't have given him 4. I'm gonna give him a 2 for the element. For his quad Salchow, I gave him an 11.64. He actually got an 11.5. For his triple Lutz, I gave him a 7.67. He got a 7.84. For his quad flip triple toe combo, I gave him an 18.23. He actually got an 18.5. For his triple loop, I gave him a 6.37. He actually got a 5.88. For his first spin, I gave him a 3.64. He got a 3.56. For his step sequence, I gave him a 4.29. He actually got a 4.43. For his triple axel, I gave him a 10.4. He actually got an 11.43. For his quad toe, Euler, triple flip, I gave him a 19.83. He got a 19. But that's also because, like, I was struggling to figure out what the base value of that jump is supposed to be. For the quad toe, double toe, I gave him an 8.64. He got a 10.66. For the second spin, I gave him a 4.2. He got a 4.55. For his choreography sequence, I gave him a 4.2. He got a 5.43. And for his final spin, I gave him a 4.9. He got a 4.9. So his actual technical score was 107.68. I gave him a 104.01. So actually pretty close. It's really the PCS score, which, as I said, I gave him a 77. He got a 92.78. That created the major difference. So his total segment score, 181.01. He actually got a 200.46. The second place finisher at Skate Canada was Zhenya Semenenko. He got, for his free program, a 168.3. So with the score that I gave Nathan, he still would have won the free skate by around 13 points. And if we look at the other things, so I know I didn't score a short program, but in the short program, he got a 106.72. I probably would disagree with that score if I was scoring it myself, but that would bring his total score for both programs to a 287.73. The final results of the competition, Jason Brown came in second place with a 259.55. So Nathan Chen still would have had won gold at this competition by nearly 30 points with the lowered score that I gave him. So is Nathan Chen overscored? In terms of his technical element score, I would say no. In terms of PCS, I actually think so. However, in saying that, do I think that he did not deserve to win all the competitions that he has? It depends on who he's versing. For example, at Skate Canada, he won by an almost 50-point margin. In this situation, he still would have won, and I think that there are many other competitions where he won gold that he definitely deserved. And I mean, when it comes to Beijing, was he who I ideally wanted to win gold? No. But do I think that he didn't deserve that gold medal? Absolutely not. He did deserve to win the Olympic gold at Beijing. He worked hard for it. In saying that he's overscored, I'm not trying to take that away from him. I'm not trying to take away the work that he does put into this sport. But the fact of the matter is that his PCS is definitely higher than I subjectively believe it should be. And whether or not that is just the judges having a different subjective opinion than me, or there is a little bit more bias going on because he's from a big federation like the United States, is not something that I have the jurisdiction to say. But yeah, so that's my opinion, I hope. So yes, the chaos has concluded. Thank you guys so much. If you stuck with me this far, leave a comment, say hi. I hope you enjoyed my nonsense. I have much more planned. Figure skating content, sewing content, reading review content. I'm still like thinking about impulsively making a book review TikTok. So yeah, just like let me know. Editing Jillian, I forgot to say, because I said it and then I edited it out, I had so much fun making this video. So if you have any requests for other programs or other skaters that you want me to kind of do an analysis like this for, maybe go more in depth with how I arrived at my GOE. I didn't really do that this time around because my technical score was very similar to what the judges gave Nathan, so I didn't really feel the need to like justify it. Just like comment down below. Let me know if you want more of this. And I will see you guys in 2 weeks. Bye. I hope if you enjoyed this new type of nonsense that I'm engaging in, let me know in the comments, since now I have over 200 subscribers. I think I had like 28 subscribers when I posted my last video 2 weeks ago. Welcome, figure skating clowns. I have in front of me oh wow, I can't hear myself because I'm wearing noise canceling headphones. Acknowledged by a certain somebody's senior thesis. Guys, what's 20% of 9.7? I mean, we've all been spoiled by the beauty that is Yuzuru Hanyu's 6 crossover short program performance. This is where you're gonna have fun. Okay, Jillian, what does that say? Oh, timing. Is it Euler or Euler? Because I always read it as Euler, like in calculus, the Euler's method. But I hear people say Euler. I should have realized that I was looking at the old base value chart when I saw that a quad axle was 15 points. Someone gave him a 0. God bless Judge 6, because he did not deserve a 0 for that. Guys, I'm struggling. Your girl is struggling. Hello, I'm filming. I'll see you guys around. I need to go food shopping since, you know, that's why my mom was knocking on my door before. Yeah. So I'll film an outro tomorrow when I'm filming the intro.